Hello everyone, my name is Octave Shark, but you can call me Finley. Here right now I'm drawing Andrew. If you didn't know already, if you hadn't seen my last video, I drew his twin sister Abby. And I mentioned in that video that I would draw her twin Andrew, which I'm drawing now. And if you didn't know, they're from a cartoon that I'm working on called Squid Twins. And basically, it's an animated sitcom about the twins who live their teenage lives in high school and just basically in life, the way that teenagers live when you're growing up in a suburban city in Canada. Particularly in British Columbia, because that's where I'm located. I can't really say what city I'm from, but I am in, British Columbia, in, near Vancouver. That's all I can really say. Anyway, Squid Twins, anthropomorphic sea creatures. They live in a small suburban city. They go to high school. It's sort of based off my life. Obviously, they're not that much like me. I'm kind of a mix of both of them, because Abby is, the fearless, says what she wants, no nonsense, kind of sassy girl, however you want to put her. And Andrew is, very much the opposite. He is shy and scared and anxious all the time. And he, I was a little bit more like Andrew back, in high school, especially during my first year of high school when it was all, new to me. Especially because I had just, moved there, so I hadn't, I didn't know anybody, and I didn't know, the school system there, because I lived in a different city before, and then I just kind of moved to this one, and it was all new to me, and I was freaking out every day. And the teachers were a little bit more strict than my elementary school. Because where I used to live, it was K to 7 was elementary school, and then 8 to 12 was high school. But then in this neighborhood, it was, you got elementary school and middle school and high school, much like the U.S. system has. But here in Canada. So that was a lot for me to get used to. Because I skipped grade 8. Well, technically I didn't. I was homeschooled because it was, pandemic. But yeah. It's kind of a rough year for me starting high school. More pressure, more work. Just, I don't know, just stricter teachers. I don't know if that's normal in a high school. I think it is. Yeah, they're a little bit more demanding with, work. And, making it, perfect. Not perfect, but, almost perfect. They're what they consider to be, perfect. They have certain expectations that they, really expect of you. Or at least that's what I had. But, yeah. Not every teacher, but, most of them were like that. Well, it felt like that way in grade 9. My science teacher, that was kind of a big source of stress, because she was, she just kind of wanted everything to be a certain way, and she was, luckily, that wasn't really just me, I've heard a lot of people say that she's, strict, so I was oh, I wasn't alone in that. She is, a scary science teacher, so, yeah, it wasn't really just me. It's yeah, the teachers are just kind of, they're like that, And yeah, if you're watching this, you probably know what your school years were like, and you probably would agree with me. I mean, yes, I'm definitely not alone in that. Lots of people hate school. But I'm getting off track now. I'm just talking about my high school years, because that's where a lot of this came from. And the teacher that I mentioned actually inspired a character for my show. He is a science teacher. He's a manta ray. I don't know when I'll draw him or if I'll ever draw him, but just picture an anthropomorphic manta ray. With when I originally drew him, I gave him like a tie. I don't know if I have it with me. Well, no, I can find it somewhere. But yeah, I'm kind of changing up the designs a bit. I don't want him to be too formal looking, because not all of my teachers at school were. A lot of them actually wore hoodies and stuff, and t-shirts, and, formal clothing was optional there for the teachers, so I kind of want to reflect that in the show as well. That formal attire is optional at Seaside High. That's the name of their high school that Abby and Andrew and their other friends go to, who I will also draw later on. I should mention that the other students, besides the other main characters, other than the twins, are based off of people that I knew in my high school. There is a few sets, actually. It's a group of 3, they're all sisters. That was one girl that I knew in school, split into 3 parts. I took 3 parts of her. I'm not gonna say who, obviously, but, and I don't know if she'd be watching this. If so, hey, you're in my show. I guess you would be okay with it? Sorry. I'm talking crazy right now, but, I won't really explain the 3 parts until I actually, get them out, because there's not too much context yet, so, obviously, aside from the 3 traits that they represent, they are, fully developed characters, They're not, one-dimensional, of course. That's, I think, why I love them so much, because I really dove deep into their personalities and their characteristics, and, kind of realizing how it all tied to this girl as well. It really just worked out. And, yeah, I'm really proud of them. As much as I love, the main characters, of course, Abby and Andrew, Zoe, Zane, Kayla, Caleb. If you saw my previous video, you probably heard me mention them already. If not, please go watch it. It's my Abby speed draw. This is me adding Andrew. But yeah. Yeah, as much as I love the main characters, these 3, they're like sea anemones. The anemone sisters. It's not their official name, but, I'm really excited to introduce them. I was thinking they'd come, later, in the show when I make it, but, no, I'll introduce them a little earlier. Originally it was gonna be, season 2, but I'm let's do it, mid-season 1. Because, yeah, you want to, start off with the good stuff as early as possible. Because that's what I love in a show, when it starts strong, rather than just getting stronger over time. Because, there's a lot of, even before I watch a show, I'll just find, clips, and I'm oh, this is, hilarious, or this is so cool, and then I, see it in, episode 1, or episode 2, or episode 3, just barely into the show, and it's just gold. It's, I love that, so, yeah, if I can introduce them as soon as possible, then, yeah, I think that would be awesome, and people will love that. But, they're, not to give too much away, but they kind of start off, oh, they're cool, and they're fun, and they're, just super awesome, but, deep down, they have, very real struggles that, people, not a lot of people have gone through, but that makes them more, you kind of connect with them more, because you kind of, kind of makes you want to protect them afterwards, when you find out all the stuff they've been through. They got, real trauma. And I'm not the kind of person who just gives everyone trauma. It's kind of fun sometimes, but, I think some people get tired of it. But But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of important because, like, many people have gone through stuff and, you know, to be honest, I kind of love the comic relief has trauma trope. I know it kind of sounds cliche, but, you know, not every cliche is bad. If anything, it's a trope. And it's very real. Like, I'm sure a lot of comedians and people who, you know, just seem, you know, funny and, like, happy on the surface. Like, they probably have something going on. Or have been through some pretty dark stuff. Like, I can't think of anyone in particular right now, but that's kind of real. Which, yeah, I think, you know, kind of getting off track now, because I'm just talking about these characters. It's not even related to Andrew. But, yeah, what can I say? I have a lot to say about this show. I've been working on it for, like, 4 years now, or more. I started in high school. That's kind of like where the inspiration came. That and Splatoon. Actually, yeah, it kind of all started as like Splatoon fanfiction that I just kind of elaborated on so much that I'm like, I want to make this real. So obviously I can't use Splatoon because of, you know, copyright and stuff. So I was like, I'll make it inspired by Splatoon, but like different. And plus I'm not limited to like the Splatoon lore and world building. I can kind of make up my own sort of lore. Plus I can set it in Canada, where I live. And like, you know, let them go to places inspired by places I've been to. Because it's a lot of fun. I love like exploring. I wouldn't say I'm like the extroverted type, but, you know. Just because you're an introvert doesn't mean you can't be adventurous. Because I find I'm very adventurous. And yeah. I couldn't really say that about Andrew. He's like, he'd rather stay home than like face the world. But Abby's like the very, very adventurous one. Maybe more than me. Which is kind of a stretch, but it's kind of true. Because Abby's like the extroverted one, and I'm not, so. Yeah, between the two of them, I think I'm like right in the middle on the personality scale. I'm like not too shy and nervous. I mean, I used to be, but not so much now. Like, I definitely was when I was definitely Andrew when I was like little. But I'm still not quite like Abby. Like, I'm not really like as outgoing as she is. Or like as fearless, but you know, I'm kind of like her in a way. I mean, in situations, like there were certain situations I've been in where I would, you know, I'd be like, what would Abby say? Or what would she do, you know, in this situation? Usually in school. It would be something weird or something I don't really like agree with, or just something kind of like where I'm like, is this fair? Is this like good or not? And I still even think about that sometimes. Like is that right or wrong, or is it the right thing, or is it just silly? You know. Part of me says, yeah, maybe it is like rational. I'm just like, you know. I mean, I'm autistic. I don't really understand some like certain rules sometimes, or like stuff like that. So, you know, what seems unfair to me might actually be normal, but it's kind of hard to judge looking back. But I don't know, some of it might be a little bit silly, but I honestly can't say. Well, I'm trying to keep this under 15 minutes, so I'll have to stop, like, right now. Yeah, see you in the next video. Bye!